Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Anubhav, where's your homework? And turn your camera on. Anubhav, Meghna, both of you, camera on. Yeah, Anubhav, where's your homework? Anubhav, am I audible to you? Parents might do this. இப்போ டேட் இப்போ டேட் வந்துட்டுல ஆனா வந்துட்டு செத்த நாய் மாதிரி எப்படி தெரியுமா பிளாக்கா கொஞ்சமா போட்டு தொலைது இப்போ டிராவல் பண்ணும்போது திடீர்னு வரும் சரி நான் லைட்டா தானே படுதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு நாப்கின் யூஸ் பண்ணாம சரி போய் வாஷ் பண்ணிட்டு வரும். ஆமா பெட்ரோல் பங்க்ல பாத்ரூம் போல திடீர்னு வருது என்ன செய்ய வச்சிருந்தல்ல வைக்கல எக்ஸ்ட்ரா எமர்ஜென்சி கையில வச்சிருந்தேன் நாப்கின் வைக்கல யாரும் வரக்கூடாது வரல மாம்பழத்துக்கு பையெல்லாம் குத்துது இன்னும் வைக்காம தான் இருக்கேன் நான் போய் வாஷ் பண்ணிட்டு அப்பப்போ பார்த்துட்டு வாஷ் பண்ணிட்டு வந்துட்டு இருக்கேன். இன்னைக்கு வந்து அடிச்சு போகணும் தெரியல படுத்து படாதுன்னு வீட்டுல இருக்கும்போது ஒரே நிமிஷம் மேம் ஐ ஹவ் கான் ஆமா புரியாது Ma'am, I have gone to a dental checkup for 2 days. Ma'am, mic is not working, ma'am, because my teeth has serious infection. Okay, 9 and above. Okay, anyways, try to finish off all the work. Try to finish all the work together, okay? For all the homeworks you're missing, please try to do it together. Sharing my screen. Okay, so yesterday's class we saw about what circulatory system is, what are the parts of the blood, and what is its functions, what are veins and capillaries. Okay, now let's talk about the heart. Prithvik, can you tell me, if I ask you what a heart is, how will you define it?
Heart is basically a cone-shaped pumping machine which transports all the blood to other parts.
Okay, very good. So basically, you know that it's one of the most important organs in your body. So the brain and the heart. Okay. Okay, so I'll just draw a simple image of a heart, so it'll be easy for you all to remember. So obviously you will have 3 valves. Okay, this is one of the most important valve or one of the most important pipe that connects to the heart. Here, this is the region where all the blood goes out. Okay, this is called as the aorta. I'll name it later on. Okay, then you basically have the general heart structure. Okay, the heart has 2 valves. One is in the left and one is in the right, divided by a central portion that looks something like this. Okay, so there is a vein that brings in all the blood to the right valve, and a vein that brings in all the blood to the left valve. Okay, it might be difficult to draw. If you want, you can draw it. Otherwise, it's not necessary. Okay. I'm just drawing it so it'll be easier for me to explain it to you all where blood travels. You have another pipe over here where all the blood comes in over here. Okay. This pipe, I'm drawing it in blue so you know the differentiation. From here, it ends over here. And this important pipe, the important pipe is red in color, okay? We have another pipe over here that is green over here. All right. So this is a general structure of the heart. You can see the thickness over here. You can see how thick it is. It's because you know that the amount of force that the heart of a human being applies. Okay, so you're pumping blood to literally every single part of your body with immense amount of force. That force should not burst the vein. That's why it's super thick. Okay. So you have a valve over here. Okay. So basically all the blood, I just label everything. Okay. This is the aorta. Okay. This is the most important part of your heart where all the blood, that is all the good blood, you can see the arrow, is all pumped out of the body. Okay. Out of from the heart to every single part of the body. This is called the pulmonary artery, another important tube where the blood leaves. So an artery collects good blood or vein collects good blood. Can anyone answer this? Meghna?
Yes, ma'am.
Does an artery collect good blood or vein collect good blood?
Artery, ma'am.
So artery collects all the good blood. Is it? Is it right? Meghna, I need a response.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, it is right. So yes, artery collects all the good blood. So the artery is removing all the good blood from the heart to supply to the rest of the body. Okay, whereas the vein collects all the bad blood. That is the good blood, bad blood, and there's no difference. Artery collects oxygenated blood. That is only good blood. Whereas a vein collects deoxygenated blood, which is the used blood, which is more in blackish color, and RBCs are not present. Okay, so pulmonary artery means you will have a pulmonary vein also. Okay, so pulmonary vein, you know that the pulmonary artery takes the blood out of your heart. So pulmonary vein will bring the bad blood into your heart. Okay, so all the good blood is taken care over here. I'm highlighting the good blood in blue and bad blood in red. Okay, in your left region. I know this is right, but when you're drawing the diagram, this is the left for you. This is called the left ventricle. This is called the right ventricle. So the right, also sorry. You have how many chambers? Chambers means parts. Okay. So how many chambers do you think the heart has? Kritvik,
Ma'am, 4.
4 chambers. Very good. Up, down in each left and right portion. So you have 1, you have 2, 3, 4. So the top portions are always called atrium. This is called the right atrium. This is called the left atrium. The one below is the ventricle. This is called the right ventricle. Left ventricle. All right. So here, this vein, okay, is the another, like how aorta is very important because it supplies all the good blood or the oxygenated blood to different parts of your body. Similarly, this is another important vein that brings all the deoxygenated blood into the heart. It is called the superior vena cava. Okay, so the aorta and superior vena cavas are one of the most important valves in the heart. So important tubes in the heart. Now you have another vein over here that maintains all the balance of the blood. This is called the pulmonary vein. So know the difference? Artery, vein. Vein takes the blood into the heart. Artery takes the blood away from the heart, which is the oxygenated blood. Okay. So you have a valve over here. This opening over your valve, can you see? This valve is called as the tricuspid valve. Okay. Similarly, you have a valve here, which is called the aortic valve. Why it's called the aortic valve means, you know that this is all the good blood. The blue is the good blood, okay? Aortic valve means because it takes to the aorta. This is the opening for the aorta. This is the opening for the aorta. Look at my laser. This is the opening for the aorta. It goes from here, okay? I'm showing the arrows of how the blood comes inside, okay? So the blood comes from the superior vena cava, enters the right atrium, enters the tricuspid valve, the right ventricle. This is all the bad blood, okay? So now all the bad blood is getting converted to good blood. So how is it getting converted? It's getting converted to good blood over here. It's going to the it's going to the left ventricle, then the left atrium, then into the aortic valve, into the aorta. And here, you know, this gap is for the pulmonary artery. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So I'll just write the description for what a heart is. So the heart is, you know, that all these lines and everything, they're nothing but muscles. So heart is a muscular organ. Okay. And in the animal, and you know that what is its main function? To pump blood through the blood vessels. To all parts of the body. The heart consists of how many chambers? 4 chambers. 4 chambers. And what are the chambers? Right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. Okay. And it prevents, these 4 chambers prevents the oxygenated and the deoxygenated blood from mixing. The upper chambers, you know, they're called the atrium, and the lower chambers are called the ventricles. Okay, this much is enough for the heart. I'll teach you about the valves later on. Please note it down and ask me if there's any doubt. It's better if you draw the drawing also, if it's easy for y'all. If not necessary, it's difficult, no need to do. Just name all the parts and start writing the description.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, can you tell what does the right ventricle do again? I didn't quietly understand.
You know, the blood enters into the right atrium first through the superior vena cava. From the right atrium, it goes to the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, the blood is pumped to the blood is pumped to the left ventricle. Do you understand? So the main function of the valve is to pump blood over here. Is it clear? You want me to tell it again?
Yes, ma'am, it's clear.
Kritika.
Ma'am, Meghana done.
Anybody left? All of you are done?
Ma'am, I'm writing the meaning. Ma'am, Sanvi done.
Okay. I hope all are done. Okay, now what are the valves? Okay, so you know there are two valves, tricuspid valve and aortic valve. So valves are present in the heart as well as in the veins. So it is present both. And in veins. So in the heart, they are present between the aorta and in the and ventricles. So between these two only in the heart it is present. And at the base of the big vessel. And at the base of the big vessels leaving the heart. Okay, so in the heart they are present between the sorry, it's not the aorta, it's the atria. Okay, that is between these two. You can see clearly over here. Atrium and the ventricle, between that is the valve. So between the atria and the ventricle at the base of the big vessel leaving the heart. So valves are responsible for the unidirection. So you don't want the blood to move like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. You know that it should first reach the right atrium, then like this, then to the left ventricle, then to the left atrium. So you know that the direction should be like this. So for that only you have the valves. So for blood flow, unidirectional. Okay, so opening and the closing of the valves is present in the heart. They're responsible for the sound. So you can see the opening and the closing of the valves. So the valves over here, they open and they close. So once they open, why they are opening and closing? For the blood to move this side. So it's moving from left to right, the blood. Okay, so when it's moving like that, the sound is coming. The lub dub heart sound is because of the opening and the closing of the valve.
சொல்லி திட்டினதுக்கு அப்பமா வாண்ட் இல்லாத ட்ரெஸ்ஸா நான் அப்படி சொல்லுவேன்னா நான் ஹஸ்பண்ட் சொல்லி கொடுத்துட்டேன்
Okay, is it clear? Is this clear? I want to explain again.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
ஜனா கூட என்ன சொல்ல ஜனா வந்து சிரிந்து சொல்லிருக்கா சிரிந்து வந்து என்ன சொல்லிட்டா.
So you know that the pulmonary, there is both pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. Okay, so it is the together it makes the pulmonary circuit. Okay, pulmonary artery, the pulmonary vein. So pulmonary circuit is the network of arteries and veins connecting the heart and the lungs. So these pulmonary arteries and veins actually connect to the lungs. So what is a pulmonary circuit? It is the network of arteries and veins connecting the heart and lungs. Deoxygenated blood is pumped from the blood to the lungs. From the heart, the deoxygenated blood is pumped to the lungs. Why it is sent to the lungs? Can anyone tell me? Why is bad blood sent to the lungs? What happens in the lungs? What happens in the lungs? Exactly. Oxygen is being circulated over there. So deoxygenated blood is converted to oxygenated blood once it is sent through the lungs. Okay, that is the function of the pulmonary circuit. Okay, note it down. One minute, guys. 1 minute. 1 minute before noting. Before that, I'll explain how the oxygenation process also happens. So oxygenation of blood occurs in alveoli. We have small sacs. What are they? Sorry, in the lungs we have small sacs. What are they called? Alveoli. So the oxygenation of the blood occurs in the alveoli only. Okay, note it down.
and
Yeah.
What you written on the last point of valve?
Last point of valve. Opening and closing of the valve, lub-dub sound, the heart sound.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm not
What is after a function?
What is after what?
எவ்வளவு இது?
Ma'am, what is after? Ma'am, can one
What?
the homework?
What is the functional link between heart and lungs? I'm repeating again. What is the functional link between heart and lungs?
அது என்ன?
Okay. I'm done.
Class, that's it for today. I'm actually having some work. If you're done noting down all the notes and the homework, you can leave the class.
Done. Ma'am, I'm done, ma'am. Kindly.
Done, you can leave the class. Yeah, sorry, Sanvi.
Ma'am, I'm done.
Yeah. All of you are done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can leave the class. I'll see you all on Monday. The test portion will be for whatever I've taught so far. If there's any additional portion, I'll mention in the class group. Okay?
Okay, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
போய் சொல்லுங்க.
Uli.
வயிற்றுலாம் போயிட்ட போறோம்.